Hi, Sheen.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Jiawei. I'm the PM. Give you a couple questions here. So,
Okay.
tell me a little bit about how you kind of ended up selecting the projects that you ended up selecting.
Well, I've always wanted to make my own video games because they're very fun to play and they're nice. They're nice. So it would be cool to have a game that includes some of my own ideas. So we had originally decided an entirely different video game, except it turned out that it wasn't really probable to create that game itself. So we had decided to go for a simpler, much more doable version of it. So we had different characters instead of like people and like superheroes. We're now using animals that we could like use them from off the internet. So we would use those characters, and the topic of the game was also much more different. Instead of getting to a place, we would have to like eat food and avoid obstacles. So it was like the collecting sort of game.
I see. And as part of this project, what kind of softwares did you use, and how was your experience with them?
Okay, so originally we had done MIT App Inventor, so that was a bit more challenging than Scratch, what we had ended up with. Yeah.
I see. Okay. And how was your experience with Scratch? I know you mentioned you practiced debugging using sound and video and,
Yeah.
and visuals.
Uh-huh.
How was that?
So that was good. So Scratch was much more easier than MIT App Inventor. So in Scratch we had done, so we would have like it was just drag and drop everything. So we would create so sometimes what we had originally planned didn't really work, so it wouldn't happen, and everything would not really work the way it was supposed to. So then we would go to the program where it was supposed to work. So we would like put in a little sound that would like be something like play sound pop or something. So we would put that into the code, and if it would play that sound, then we would know it would have to be something after that and not before that. But if it wouldn't, then we know something is like happening over there itself. So we would like figure out like where the problem is.
All right. And if you had one piece of advice for a future mentee who wanted to work on video games, what would it be?
Choose something simple from the beginning, because then you'll have more time to work on it, and then as you progress you can add more levels, and it would be better than what it would be if you had not originally planned something like that. So yeah, so you should know what you're going to plan from the beginning itself, and you should like do something simple and doable that you can add on to make it more difficult, instead of something that have only like one fixed thing, so you cannot really make it harder or easier.
All right, Sheen. Congratulations on the project and
Okay, thank you.
good luck.